This is a video on how to install SQL Server 2017 on Ubuntu Linux. So let's go ahead and download a supported version of Ubuntu. At this moment, the only supported version of Ubuntu is 16.04. The latest version is Ubuntu 16.04. I tried installing SQL Server on Ubuntu 18.04, but there were issues with connections and I couldn't connect to the SQL Server instance even though it was running fine. I later came to know there is an issue, there is an unresolved issue with protocol on 18.04. That's why the latest supported version is Ubuntu 16.04. So let's go ahead and download a desktop image that will have the graphics of 64-bit Ubuntu. So it will be an ISO image that we could mount to our virtual machine. So let's I've downloaded that, and then let me create the virtual machine now. So I just named it Linux, selected Ubuntu 64-bit, and then I need to give at least 2 GB of RAM, and then create a virtual hard disk, create, and I just gave everything default. I did not change anything. I left it as it is, the 10 GB VDI disk image type, disk type, and the dynamic allocation. So VM is ready. Now let's mount the image that we have downloaded. It's under storage, controller, choose virtual optical drive, and then we have to select the 16.04 image. Here is how I selected that. I went to downloads folder. Okay. Downloads Ubuntu 16.04, open. So we have the disk mounted. Click OK, and then start the VM. VM is now starting up with installed media mounted in the optical drive. Here I'm using Oracle virtual machine, that's Oracle VM VirtualBox. Okay, the Ubuntu is starting up. For those who have already got the SQL Server, the Ubuntu installed, you could straight away skip this section to a later part of this video, maybe around 10 minutes, to start with SQL Server installation. Here I'm simply going through the steps, the easy steps to install Ubuntu. But we have to make sure we should not select automatic updates, because if we select automatic updates, the Ubuntu may get updated to 18.04. That would fail our SQL Server installation. So I have unchecked the updates. Continue. Erase the disk. I have selected LVM, so I can virtually expand the root partition and customize it later. Click install now, and then click continue. Here is the layout: root, swap, and then click continue. Okay, select the time zone. It could be I'm in Malaysia, so I've selected Kuala Lumpur. I've automatically my keyboard got selected, and then click continue, and then give any name, and pick a username, give a password, easy to remember because it's just a demo. So the installation has begun. Once we have installed Ubuntu, we will have an option a prompt to reboot the machine. So after the reboot, your Ubuntu machine is ready. Yeah, it's now completed. And then after the reboot, let the system come up, and then we have to install the virtual machine software. So that I'll show you how to do. That will help Oracle VirtualBox to interact with the guest OS, the Ubuntu that we have installed. Go ahead and select devices, install guest edition, so it will automatically run. Give your password that you gave when you installed Ubuntu. Okay, after this again we have to restart the machine. It will take some time. It's still installing. So after this, after a reboot, we will start with SQL Server installation. Okay, it's asking us when it says it, we have to restart. So let's go ahead and restart the machine. It will reboot very quickly. Okay, now let's start with SQL Server installation. So here I have downloaded all the binaries required. I'm showing you the offline version of installation without using apt-get, without using Microsoft repository. I just downloaded all the binaries to a local folder, and then I'm installing that. I'll give you all the links in the description below. If you can also download all the Debian binaries from the links in the description below. So the mssql server, that's the engine, and then inside this folder I have all the tools. It's not copied. I'll just copy them now. All the tools are copied, because here for mssql tools other binaries are all dependencies, so we all have to keep everything together and install them together. So let's open a terminal here and start with SQL Server installation. Okay, pretty much easy. We have to navigate to that folder, desktop SQL Server, where I've copied the files, and then run this command, sudo dpk. I'll put this command also in the description. Okay, the installation is completed. It's in fact the second time I'm installing. The first time when I installed it, I couldn't get the recording running. Recording failed, so I just had copied the output. So first what I did was I executed the command sudo dpkg -i that package, and then it gave me some dependency errors. So to fix those dependency errors, you have to run sudo apt-get -f install. That will automatically install all the dependencies. So and we have to give y when prompted to continue, and then it will download and install all dependencies, and including the Debian package. SQL Server, and then it's asking us to configure and then restart the machine. So to configure the SQL instance, copy that command, paste it over there. It's sudo conf setup. So here I have chosen evaluation edition. Just give 1 and give a very strong password, because it doesn't accept short unsecure password. Give a strong password, and then we are done. SQL Server installation is completed. So now let's see if the service is running fine. Okay, the service is running fine, and if in case the SQL Server service does not start, we may have to restart the machine, because at first when I had the dependency issues, the SQL Server did not start. It failed. And then I restarted the Ubuntu VirtualBox, and then the SQL Server service came up automatically, and it was running fine. After this, we need something to connect to the SQL instance, right? So let's go ahead and install all the tools. We don't have a graphical interface in Linux. We have to make use of SQL CMD. So that's why I have downloaded SQL CMD tools. That's under mssql tools folder. Okay, now I have all the Debian packages, and let's run the command sudo dpkg -i space star.deb. So that now it's the license acceptance. Okay, so now we have all the tools installed, dependent packages and the tools installed. Let's see if we can connect to the SQL instance. We have to go, it's not added to the environment variable, so let's go to the path. It gets installed in /opt/mssql tools. So here's how we should connect. I forgot / SQL CMD fns. Okay. Here we go, SQL Server is installed and running fine.